Hello everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that affects each and every one of us: how the FCRA protects us as consumers. What's the FCRA? It's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. You might have heard of it before, but do you know exactly what it entails and how it protects you and me? Stick around, because we're going to break it down in detail. But before we take a deep dive on today's topic, be sure to get your free credit repair planner. This planner is 24 pages long and will help you organize all of the documents that you may need to submit during your credit restoration journey. It includes specific strategies to use when contacting the credit bureaus and collection agencies, a credit score tracker, a weekly and monthly planner, and much more. Check the description box below for the link to download your free credit repair planner today. Now, let's get started. First things first, what exactly is the Fair Credit Reporting Act? The Fair Credit Reporting Act, also known as the FCRA, is a law that requires privacy, fairness, and accuracy with your consumer credit information. It defines how credit reporting agencies, data furnishers, and other entities can use, collect, access, and share your data. U.S. Congress passed the FCRA in 1970 to protect consumer information from any misuse of their information. The FCRA is enforced by both the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and the FTC, which is the Federal Trade Commission. Having clearly defined rights over how your information is used is important when mass hacks and identity theft are becoming commonplace. Unauthorized use of information can result in derogatory marks that unfairly damage your credit. Examples of this are maxed out credit cards and too many open accounts that either don't belong to you or happen when your identity is stolen. Having clear regulations is also important since credit impacts so many aspects of our lives. Here are a few ways credit can affect you. Chances of being approved for things like credit cards and car loans. Terms offered for credit products like APR and repayment period. Approval for rental applications. Insurance rates. Job acceptance depending on your industry. So now let's talk about how the FCRA protects consumers like you and me. The FCRA defines and enforces rules on how information on your credit report can be accessed and used. Here are a few key parts of the FCRA outlined by the FTC. Credit bureaus are required to delete unverifiable, inaccurate, or incomplete information. This is normally done within 30 or 45 days, depending on where you obtained your credit report. Credit bureaus can't report old negative information. Most negative items cannot appear on credit reports if they're more than 7 years old. Bankruptcies can appear on credit reports for up to 10 years. Credit bureaus must limit access to your consumer credit information. Consumer credit reporting agencies can only give your information to those with valid needs, like creditors or landlords. Credit bureaus must get your consent before giving your report to employers. You must give your written consent to the credit bureaus before your information is released to your current or future employer. Just like your credit report, you're always entitled to know your credit score, even though there may be a fee involved in obtaining it. You're entitled to dispute any information that's inaccurate or incomplete. The credit bureaus must investigate any disputes you have with information you find is inaccurate or incomplete unless it is determined frivolous. Learn more about the dispute process from the CFPB website. Businesses and other entities are required to tell you if your consumer credit report information was used against you in their decision-making process. This is required for any decision that results in an adverse action, like when you're passed over for a job or your credit card application is rejected. In addition, they must give you the name, address, and phone number of the credit reporting agency who gave them your information. You're entitled to know what information is in your life. The FCRA grants you the right to retrieve information about you that's filed with the credit bureau. This process is typically free and you have a right to access your information for several reasons. A few instances include when you're unemployed but expect to apply for a job within 60 days, when you're a victim of identity theft or if you're on public assistance. You're also entitled to a free credit report from each credit bureau every 12 months through annual credit report. You can restrict the pre-screened credit and insurance offers you get based on your credit report. Yes, you heard that right. You have every right to limit pre-approved credit card offers from coming in the mail. You can opt out with the credit bureaus at 1-888-567-8688 or 1-800-5-OPT-OUT. The companies giving these offers must also provide a toll-free number to call if you'd like to remove yourself from their list. You have a right to put a security freeze on your credit report. Security freezes, also known as credit freezes, stop credit bureaus from releasing your credit information without your consent. Freezes prevent applications for things like credit cards and loans from being approved without your knowledge. But it can delay time-sensitive decisions like mortgage applications. You have the ability to sue any entity that violates your rights under the FCRA. If the FCRA is breached by a credit bureau or other entity that uses your reports, suing in state or federal court may be an option. Victims of identity theft and active duty military members have additional rights. The FCRA has special provisions for identity theft victims and active duty military consumers, since both groups have special circumstances. If you fall into either category, read more about your rights and consult a lawyer well-versed in credit law if you're unsure about your rights. The FCRA governs the three major credit bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, in addition to all of the organizations that collect information that impact your credit, like banks, credit card companies, and those that use your information to make decisions, like apartment complexes. Each entity has a handful of rules they must follow. Coming up, I'll explain what rights you have in relation to all of these entities so you understand what standards they are held to, what actions you're entitled to take when your rights are violated, and who is responsible for what. As the entity that mainly holds and manages your consumer credit data, the credit bureaus are held to clear standards to ensure your information is safe and fairly used. Here are some rights guaranteed by the FCRA regarding consumer credit reporting agencies. Number 1, restrict or give access to your information only to those who have a permissible purpose to read and use your credit report. Number 2, investigate disputed information unless they believe the dispute is frivolous or they do not have enough information to begin an investigation. Number 3, correct or delete inaccurate information after it's proven inaccurate. Number 4, give you a copy of your credit report when requested and under other conditions, like when you're put on public aid or you've placed a fraud alert on your reports. Data furnishers are the groups that provide credit bureaus with your information. Common data furnishers are credit card companies and student loan companies. They're required to fairly and accurately report your information to the credit bureaus. Here are the rules enforced by the FCRA that data furnishers must follow. Number 1, let you know within 30 days about negative items reported to the credit bureau. Number 2, inform the credit bureau when you voluntarily close your own account. Number 3, have a process in place for responding to identity theft notifications from the credit bureau. Number 4, refrain from reporting accounts that you reported were created as a result of an identity theft incident. Number 5, cannot report inaccurate information. Number 6, promptly amend any incorrect information they're given to the credit bureaus. Those who use information from your credit report must also follow their own set of guidelines. Apartment complexes fall under this category since many use your credit report or credit score as a part of their screening process. Insurance companies can also fall under this category since some use your credit score to determine your premium. Here are a few requirements for these groups you should know. First, they're supposed to give the name and the address of the consumer reporting agency that gave the report used in the decision to decline you. Second, they're supposed to inform you when your credit report information was a part of the decision to reject your application or request. So in conclusion, the FCRA is possibly the most important among all federal consumer financial services laws as a filter for access to consumer credit, because reviewing one's consumer report is generally a crucial step in the creditworthiness evaluation. Ensuring that such reports are accurate and not misused is fundamental to ensuring the proper use of consumer credit. Unrectified errors in a consumer report can deny credit to an eligible applicant. Hey, that's our show today, folks. Now you know how important the FCRA is to all of us. If you found this information helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.